All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm Scoob, and he's Rust, and we have an exciting match here with some more CCA action for you guys. Today we have PSU Nebula versus Glooga Gouga. So, Rust, take me through this matchup. We see Nebula's 1-3, looking to maybe eke out a playoff spot with a convincing win here. So, what do they have to do to win here tonight?
Tonight they have to win just, I believe, 4 games, just 4 games, and then they're able to eke out a playout spot. You know, I've seen Gouga in action a little bit. They're a solid team, but I think PSU Nebula can handle them.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to need a decisive 4-0 victory here to have a chance of eking out that playoff spot. I mean, 2-3 is a losing record, but I don't know how these other teams are faring in their division. So maybe, just maybe, they could eke out a spot if they go 4-0 here tonight.
You know, stranger things have happened. So I believe in our group Nebula. I think they can do it.
Yeah, I believe. I think we have a good group here. They just got to huff the copium.
Yeah, anyway. Keep on huffing.
In terms of weapons, what do you think we're going to see here from Nebula tonight?
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Youth. You know, Youth's been using a lot of Dynamo lately, so I believe... I can't say too much about Jolts or E or... Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here it comes. Okay. We do see Dynamo from Youth. Pretty typical team for Nebula. But anyway, here we go.
Looking pretty good on both sides. I mean, I'd say it's a pretty balanced comp. You have a pretty backless comp, actually, from Gouga. You know, credit more of a midline, in my opinion.
Yeah, both pretty heavy painting comps here. Not out of the ordinary for splat zones. We see both teams just kind of trading blows here, fighting for mid. Looks like Nebula will get the first cap, but it ain't going to be by much. We see Jolts popping out those strikes to destroy that bubble. Good use of strikes there. They get control of zone again. We see rain coming out from Glooga. Nebula has to be careful here from that rain. We do see one go down, but Glooga's also down on their side too. Now we see a crab coming out that guns one of them down. Jolt's fighting for his life here.
Oh, Jolts gets flanked, taken out.
Jolts gets slimed. And now Gouga has pretty firm control of the zone here. Looks like Youth is going to try and come in and flip it. But he has to work with his team here.
Kind of holding anchor for position, getting cooler up. That's pretty good. They can give him an opportunity to run in. That splashdown by Ian, really good. Takes down one. They're able to get...
Looks like they just can't get a firm hold on this zone. Gouga's being really persistent here.
That Octobrush is causing quite a bit of trouble. It's not really allowing them to hold space or push forward. Yeah, oh, good trade.
Gouga down there. That's going to give them firm control here. Unless, maybe not. This is very back and forth so far, Rust.
I'm loving both sides are actually doing really well. You know, PSU Nebula is not going to have an easy win, but you know it is doable for them. They can definitely do it.
Yeah, this has been really scrappy so far. The other team really getting a lockout position here yet. Look, this might be a long match. Jolts has those strikes ready, just waiting on them. That bubble's looking pretty tasty. Well, you see that crab coming out in that bubble, though. That is a hell of a good position. When all these specials come out and take the zone back.
That's a good coordination on specials. Ian's popping Aura.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Into zone. Pops back for Soda.
He's trying to get his team back in, though. Now we'll see if
Nebula being able to kind of hold up a little bit.
Yeah. Nice kill there from Ian.
Oh, watch your back. He's got it. He's covered. Nice on the pick.
But he trades out.
It's a good trade. He has Soda, so it's not actually all that bad. He can jump back in pretty easily.
Yeah, trades always benefit the winning team here.
PSU Nebula flipping lead.
Yeah, this zone's going to keep on ticking. And they have specials online. Here comes the strikes from Jolts, trying to keep them at bay. Jolts unfortunately goes down.
Oh, good job, Ian.
Nebula's still hanging onto this zone. It looks like they will cap it over here, though. And now they're going to be careful they don't get locked out themselves here. Gouga has a pretty firm hold over mid now, although this brush is falling back. Maybe playing a little too passive.
I don't know. Placing beacons is always worth the setup.
That is true. Those beacons can come back to haunt Nebula if they aren't careful. They have plenty of time to work with here. Now we see specials coming out. The strikes from Hexatoons will probably cap the zone here. Yeah, there we go.
Good strikes. They're able to get mid back. That's really good for them.
Oh,
trade with the brush.
Havoc on the back line though. And now Gouga has control of the zone again. PSU has to be careful not to get into a stagger loop here.
It's true.
Then we see that crab coming out. Going to keep them off the zone for a while. PSU has time, but they can't let them get too many points for free here. They are at a penalty now, so the clock is ticking.
Yep. More strikes. That's good. That's good.
More strikes coming out. I think these double strikes doing a lot of work here for PSU. I like to see that.
It's very paint heavy. Oh, great job, Hexa.
Great pick. And now PSU has firm control of mid again.
Canceling the jump.
Nice pick.
That's great.
Hexa. Perfect. And they get the guy flanking too. Amazing. This rain though is going to be pretty pesky.
Ian holding onto a splashdown, just keeping this, just to hold zone flip. That's really good. You like to see it.
I think Ian needs to focus staying alive and try and get this last stitch in here. They will get out of penalty soon if they could just keep up this paint. Ooh, that
hiding in the corner.
out.
I love to see it. Oh, yep. Good splashdown.
Ooh, they do get wipes though, and that's going to stop their points.
I don't know.
I think
that penalty
needs to be a little more aggressive here.
They do. They keep pushing up and trying to hold mid.
Yeah. You see specials on already from Nova here, or Nebula, sorry.
Oh, good strike. Good strikes. Gonna flip zone.
6 strikes coming out at once. Call him Obama. Oh my god.
Oh,
they get wiped again though.
That's okay. They're back up. They're back up.
Yeah, only 5 seconds though. It's now or never for Glooga. They don't have much penalty though. This is gonna come down to the wire. Nebula's got to get in here, and this bubble's going to make it really difficult.
If they can just get strikes or a splashdown, they'll be able to take zone pretty quickly.
Yeah, time is ticking.
Looks like
I think that's going to do it.
Splashdown isn't an option. Oh, strikes are out.
Wiped. Oh. Just barely eking out that win there. That was really back and forth, but Glooga came out on top. What happened there, Russ?
Unfortunately, it seems like even though they had a dominant lead, PSU Nebula kind of staggered in the last bit. Kind of had back-to-back wipes. That will do it. You know, take them out just a little bit. You know, start flipping momentum.
Yeah, those wipes were brutal. We saw a pretty good special coordination from PSU here. Honestly, I think they kind of outplayed them here, the other team. But like you said there, at the end, they just got to kind of get in a stagger loop, and that can be detrimental, as we saw.
No, absolutely. I think in a situation like that, it can be beneficial to just hold on to your team for a second. You know, you have your penalty ticking down, and that is definitely very adrenaline rising, but just understand that you have time, that you can pause for a second before running in, you know, to flip zone. It can be very beneficial.
There's no problem falling back a little bit and just trying to build specials, play a little passively, and just wait for the right time to strike.
To triple ink strike.
Yeah, we saw a lot of strikes there come out from PSU Nebula. It was working pretty well for them. They were able to cap the zone like nobody's business, but it just wasn't enough.
I think for both teams, it would have been a little bit more beneficial if they had just pushed up a little harder, a little more aggressively. We kind of saw that a little bit with Joltz throwing out his strikes on making sure that they kind of stayed back in spawn. But I think if other teams had a little bit more coordination, they would have been able to do the same, and it could have pushed Glooga all the way back and kind of let them pull in for the lead.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they should have been a little more aggressive pushing up into base from both sides, and I think that could have been the deciding factor. But moving forward, what do both these teams have to do to improve their chances going into this next match on Museum Clan Blitz?
Museum Clan Blitz. It's a very paint-decisive map. If you don't have middle, if you don't have the sides, it's very easy to get steamrolled.
This is true. That big pit in the middle is just kind of instant death if you don't have it painted.
It is a free-for-all. I think both sides... I think, honestly, that Glooga has to have a bit more of an aggressive comp in terms of specials. But I do think PSU Nebula is probably going to see a difference. They're probably going to be a little bit more defensive.
Yeah, I think we'll see a little less like paint-heavy weapons coming out from Nebula. Obviously, this isn't zones anymore. Paint's still important on this map, but they don't need the pure raw paint output that they had last time. I think they might go for a little more aggressive or a more defensive build, like you said.
Yep. I would like to see more entry tools on both sides. You know, it could be a hammer, could be a reef slider, could even just be whales. That would be, on both sides, would actually be really good.
Yeah, I think if we don't see any of those aggressive specials come out, this might come down to an overtime slogfest. And on this map, it can be... Yeah, it can be very difficult to push in sometimes on this map if you're not coordinated and aggressive.
Simultaneously, it's actually very easy to sneak up using the little platform on the side ramp.
This is true. This map does reward dirty rat strats. But anyway, here we go.
All right,
Seeing
looks like they're running
similar
Strike
comp.
instead of Junior.
Yep.
Oh, Reef Slider on Hexa.
Yeah, they're running a really aggressive comp here.
And Zipcaster from Jolts. That's really good, actually.
Yeah, I like Zip on this map. It's very good at getting onto plat and just picking apart those backlines.
Exactly. You can still hold the ball too, so you might be able to get like a sneaky score in.
Yeah, you can't score with it, but you can pave the way for your team. Yeah, both teams just kind of fighting for mid right now.
Youth already has a ball. That's really good. That's clam control.
That's
Blue
good.
has
Yeah, you
more
got to control
clams.
this clam economy. But yeah, still no one down. We see a lot of specials coming out. It looks like Ian does go down there.
Unfortunate timing.
Yeah, but yeah, both
Zipcaster
sides just
from
kind of
Jolt.
biding their time. Cooler comes out from Youth. Let's see if they try to work with this here.
Hex on the Dread Ringer. It's gonna
Yeah,
use
Hex
a
is looking to
Re-Slider.
go with this Re-Slider.
Yep.
Here it comes. Gets
That's a one.
one.
Works on his second pick.
Yeah, gets the second with his teammate.
Working on trying to put more entry
Ian
in.
goes
Ian.
down.
That could have been a good splash down.
I think this rain's gonna stop this push dead in its tracks.
It's unfortunate, yeah. I think it looks like Glooga's kind of doubled down on a more defensive build for this one, you know. We see a Crab, Cooler, Rain, and Strike, so it kind of feels like they're really buckling down the fact that they're just going to try to get into overtime.
Yeah, PSU not letting up, though. They keep going to that ramp, and they keep getting stops, but Gouga isn't really taking advantage of it. They're just kind of holding their plat. So I think PSU is eventually going to break through here.
Yeah, it's a situation of impenetrable defense or unstoppable attack.
Yeah, and both cannot exist in the same universe, so we'll see what wins. PSU hoarding a lot of clams right now.
Yes, PSU has 2 balls. That's actually really good, you know, and
yes, an entire man's worth of balls. Joel's coming out with the Zipcaster. Gets a nasty pick, but he goes down.
Oh, good job, Ian.
Huge splash down.
Up.
Ian paving the way. Oh, but they get wiped.
That's unfortunate. We're gonna see.
And we see a counter push quickly coming out. PSU has to regroup quickly, or they're going to get stuffed. But they're slowing down. The rest, what are they doing?
They had the opportunity. I think they're holding for special. They're holding for strikes right now. I think they're waiting for a Crab and then maybe a Rain to put in. Yep, we see the splash throwing the... Oh, yeah, that's a pick.
Yeah, more picks coming out. Now there's 2 down on the side of PSU. Now's the time to strike. But we see the reset to get one. Hex is probably going to get another. He's aura farming. He's crazy. Hex doing a great job. Unfortunately, he goes
down to the Octo Shot, but that was a really good push.
Yeah, but the damage is done. He absolutely shut down that push. Good job to Hexatoons.
Oh, they better watch out. This credit's getting a lot of crab damage or chip damage in.
Unfortunately, Youth goes down there to the credit. Kind of just letting him rain free. I think Jolt needs to try and pick him off with that Zipcaster and then take the opportunity to push in here. Unfortunately, that ball here is going to die for PSU.
Both sides have an Octo Brush, but they're playing very different styles. Jolt is definitely being a little more aggressive than we see.
Yeah, here's the Re-Slider.
Good Re-Slider from Hex does go down. Oh, good.
Big splash down.
I think, is this an opportunity? They don't have a ball.
It's Youth versus the Brush. He can get the tour here.
Good job, Youth. Oh my god.
That's crazy.
There's only 1:30 left. They can just hold on to this.
I think that might do it for PSU. We've seen that kind of slow to push up here and be aggressive, so that might be all they need. Good job from Youth there, recognizing that 1v1 situation and just getting that clam in.
And going back to the clam too. Oh, let's not speak too quickly. This Brush is actually finally doing some business. He's running up.
Brush just get a nice pick with that pesky rain there. Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to bide their time and go with these strikes. Unfortunately, the Brush goes down to Youth. Yeah. Oh, they are deep in that base, though, but they get shut down. And I think they're going to have to regroup. They have less than a minute left to get a push going here.
They have to get something going now. They have 2 balls, so if they can get in, it's going to be dangerous. But
yeah,
good job recognizing that Beacon was there.
Needs to hold mid and prevent them from getting their specials.
Good job taking out the Beacon Jolts, you know, not letting the team jump in and have more ground than they should.
Yes, those beacons could be detrimental. Yeah, Credit looking to take some space here. Eyeing up that block. Might go for a sneaky push here. Ooh.
Youth holding out the back line.
Strikes. Credit's going to go with these strikes. Will it work?
No, they're getting shut down.
Ooh, he gets shut down.
Oh,
comes
good
that zip
job.
from.
Good
Oh,
job.
I think
Jolt.
this is
Good
gonna end
pick.
it.
Good Jolt.
Oh,
Good
it's
pick.
popping off, and I think that's gonna be it. They still have Clems here. They could get an overtime push, but PSU's holding firm in mid here.
Oh, they have ball too. They're just holding on the clam economy. That's really good.
Yeah, PSU just has to bide their time. Don't make any risky plays, and this Clem is gonna die, and that'll do it.
Let's
World Cup mark win there for
go.
PSU. Russ, what do they do better here?
I would say that they kind of use the defensive. Glooga did use their defensive to their advantage, but they just couldn't push up in time, and that's in the end, that's really what mattered. They couldn't push up, they couldn't get in, and PSU Nebula, they were able to hold the defensive when they needed to. Youth holding on that back line and making sure that no one got in on that sneaky side ramp. Jolt's being able
Yeah,
to push up, stop any pushes.
Yeah, like I said earlier, PSU just kept pushing and pushing, much like a pregnant woman. And it didn't work at first, but they were eventually able to break through with that pesky little clam jump from Youth and sneak that in there. And that was enough to win the game.
Yep,
Like
just
you
like
said,
another.
Gouga was just unable to get onto their plat the whole time. I think they really need to consider being a little more aggressive, or PSU might sneak this away from them.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the defensive bunker strategy that they're using right now is working. They had a little bit of a better idea of having strikes instead of a bubble, but I honestly, bubble would have been a better entry tool than strikes because it kind of lets you set up, especially with that credit there.
Yeah, especially with them trying to take that block route. I think Bubble can essentially give that to you for free in combination with your other specials. So
No,
yeah,
absolutely.
definitely stuff to consider for Glooga here, as that was the evening match at 1-1. So
Both
now we
sides
move on to TC Maka. What do you think we're going to see here for
Ooh.
both these teams?
Oh, is this a sub?
Oh, is there a sub?
Yeah, it looks like we see Arcot coming into the lobby.
I'm going to be so honest, I forgot Arcot was even on this team. I apologize, Arcot.
Looks like they're switching out for Ian.
Yeah, it looks like you're right.
For TC Mako, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, map control is also very important here, but you have a lot of side routes to kind of take advantage of little rat routes.
Yeah, you know what I think we're going to see? I think we're going to see lots of strikes.
I think strikes is a good idea. I think you're going to see a lot of taking specials from both sides. I mean, Reef Slider, Booyah Bomb. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a lot of displacements too.
Yeah, having played with Jolts as my captain last year, I know he likes double strikes on tower to just make sure the enemy team cannot get anything going. So I think we will see that return here from PSU's side. As
You
for
thinking?
Glooga, I hope they're going to run something more aggressive. Hopefully get some more displacement specials and take space. But I really don't know what they're going to bring out.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was I think they're going to bring back the bubble, but I think they're going to keep the crab because that's actually really good for tower control in my opinion.
Yeah, I think credit is a good pick here. Definitely bubble too. I don't think we really saw much of that crab come out last game.
No, it was I just don't think they had the opportunity to kind of take the space that they needed, especially with Jolts running around on brush, kind of being able to shark from the back when needed.
Jolt's winning the mental battle. He's in their heads.
That's the first battle that you enter.
So true. But
Well,
anyway,
it is true.
here we go.
You see the opening lineup, you kind of start playing in your own head and you start overthinking or underthinking. It's what makes a certain build so good and certain comps so great.
I was telling Nebula earlier, sometimes just the very threat of you being in a position is enough to win the battle. We see S-Blast coming out from Arcot. That's going to be the shitty first kit version, because Arcot is not a high enough level to get the meta version yet, unfortunately.
It's fine. Reef Sliders are really good, and especially on Blaster, it's good displacement. And it can even hold take from a Booyah Bomb, which, Glooga does have. They brought out the Forged Splatter Shot in favor of the credit.
Yeah, Reef Slider isn't great on tower control, I'd say, but it can get those cheesy scenarios. Arcot coming out on this tower. Gets one, but he dies.
Unfortunate.
And Glooga's going to be taking this tower early, playing more aggressive. This is what they need here, but those strikes are going to stop them in their tracks. Nice double team there. Yeah, Glooga's still on the tower here, but they get picked off.
They should watch out for this Booyah Bomb.
Yeah, picks trading everywhere. Oh my lordy lord. We see strikes coming out. It's just chaos right now.
I think if they play their cards right, PSU Nebula might be able to get a push out of this after getting so many of these picks. Oh, Youth going down though. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, one down on both sides right now. The Zap coming back pretty quickly because of Cooler though. Schultz has those strikes online. I think he just needs to find an opportunity to pop him here and get his team in.
I'm thinking that he holds them for a second, make sure that the other team doesn't. Oh,
yeah,
no,
here we go. Yeah,
good
trying
timing.
to clear out that flat. We see more strikes coming out. Oh my god. But they're not going to get much points off of this. Looks like it just kind of stalled out.
I mean, Glooga, despite the more aggressive comp, they're still playing really defensively. You know, they're holding on to their booyahs. They're making sure that the oh, good slider.
Yeah, it didn't get anyone though, unfortunately. And PSU are numbers down right now. Glooga's still just kind of biding their time.
They seem to be a very defensive-focused team.
Yeah, they played defense pretty well. It's just they need to push and get points here. This is by no means a safe lead on this map.
Absolutely. Mako's one of those maps that switches very quickly.
3 down. It's just Youth. Youth get the quad.
Come on, Youth.
Tried his best
good
he gets one
pick.
off the tower. Good pick. But they're still going to be pushing here. Here comes that Booyah Bomb from Forge, trying to shred them. Arcot somehow survives there by the hair on his ass.
Oh my god.
Arcot not looking at the tower for some reason. And now that Forge has aura. And these points are just ticking away. PSU Nebula has to regroup here and get them off now.
More strikes coming out, take out the tower.
But they're 2 down on the side of Glooga, and it looks like PSU will retake mid here. They got to get a push going soon. They have plenty of time, but they can't wait too long.
2 minutes, that's a lot of time in order to still get a knockout, hopefully.
Yeah, I think they just
but all
need
these subs.
Now they're 2 down.
You're just seeing so much sub special. Oh, sub spam. Oh, ooh.
Nice pick there from the brush. Trying to get more with this Zipcaster. Ooh, it's 2 there. Oh, that was brutal. Call him
we saw this brush pulling out a lot of the rain kit, but they're actually pretty good with the Zipcaster too.
Yeah, taking a good opportunity of PSU being bunched up there and just boxing like a fish and 200 pumping them. And Glooga's threatening to win here. They're at 19. That last checkpoint almost getting popped.
They're doing a great job, though, with their strikes, keeping the enemy back.
Yeah, PSU bending but not breaking here. This is by no means a lost cause. We see a nice strike kill there. And PSU's number's up right now. Yeah, it's just this Forge. They gotta go. Now the Forge is dead.
Good. Almost a wipeout.
Yeah, delayed wipe there from PSU. And they gotta hop on this tower now and start taking space.
They're finally going to be able to break past the 90 barrier. More strikes out, letting Youth hold it.
Here come the strikes, but someone's behind them.
Oh my god. Good pick on that brush.
Slimed here, W Slime.
They break through the first
More going down. They get this checkpoint, just trying to get this pesky Forge off of there. Somehow alive. How is he alive? Oh my
Forge alive? Oh my gosh. Unfortunate reef slide.
There. Yeah. The PSU still has momentum here. Archive gets a nice pick there.
They seem to be staggered. Glooga's a little staggered right now.
Yeah, if they can keep them in the stagger loop, they can get a lot of points here. But they gotta get on that damn tower.
They have 30 seconds. I don't know if they're gonna make it, Scoob.
Yeah, these subs, like you said, are just keeping them off. So many bombs.
And we see strikes from the side of Glooga, ready to go.
Oh. If this T-Tech can stay alive, that might be a wrap.
Nope.
Oh, but he dies!
And we see strikes on the side of
this. And they waste the Booyah, too. PSU might have an opportunity here. A blunder from Glooga.
Good job.
Nice they get one! 6 seconds left. And that's going to be the game, folks. An unfortunate way to lose there for PSU.
That is incredibly unfortunate. We saw PSU Nebula kind of coming in. They pulled out a really good last-second push, but it just wasn't quite in there.
Yeah, they had the workings of a good push there. The striker from Gouga went down, and they wasted that Booyah Bomb too early trying to get them off the tower. So they had no GG specials to work with to get them off the tower. They could have maybe got a last-minute miracle push in there. But unfortunately, the cards just weren't in their favor, and they all got slimed.
It is hard, though. That brush is able to put in for a lot of, pincer attacks. You know, you have to start watching for 2 angles at once, and if even one of your teams goes down, it's kind of lights out in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, you really need everyone up and firing in an overtime push like that. And the threat of a brush just stabbing someone from behind is a lot to put up with, especially in a pressure situation that's already kind of raising your anxiety.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I think moving forward, PSU has to kind of work on their openings a little more. They're kind of getting into holes and then having to dig themselves out later. So I think they should be a little more aggressive on their openings.
Exactly. Arcot seems to be switching out again for, I assume, would be Ian.
Yeah, I assume Ian's coming back in. I think that's their entire roster.
But we are going to be seeing Rainmaker on Scorch Gorge. How do you feel about this map, Scoo?
Ooh, I like this map, but to call it a good map, I don't know if that would be exactly truthful to our audience here. It's very lockout heavy. Once you get that first checkpoint, you could just kind of breeze your way to victory. It's very snowbally because of that downward slope going into the base.
I do agree. I do agree. It is a very one-sided map once one team is able to push advantage. I personally like this map a lot. I think it is very fun, but it also, I am a rat. I play a lot of brush and sploosh, so naturally, sneaking around is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, Rainmaker, regardless of the map, is one of my lesser favorite modes because usually I'm screaming at my teammates to help me pop the Rainmaker shield, as I, the sole person who cannot pop the Rainmaker shield, have to do it by myself without fail.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, but enough about me. What do these teams got to do here to try and get another victory?
You know, I think PSU Nebula, I think they need to understand that maybe double strikes isn't necessarily the way. I would like to see a little bit more special variety. Maybe a Booyah Bomb, maybe just something to help them, maybe a bubble even, just to help push a little bit. You know, because they're really good at taking space, they just have a hard time keeping it. You know, Youth can't do all that heavy lifting alone with Dynamo.
Yeah, it's a very good point there. I like Strikes as a special. I think they're one of the most versatile in the game. They're my personal favorite as a T-Tech main, but they have to understand that they can't do everything. They're a good displacement tool, but if they can't work with that space they make, they're kind of not doing anything. And also, you have to consider they've been running Strikes just kind of shoving them down Glooga's throat. You have to think if maybe they're getting used to it and predicting it now.
Exactly. You know, I would even say that Ultra Stamp would be a great option for PSU Nebula right now, especially on a map like this. You have a lot of off angles that you can throw a hammer in, or you can pop Rainmaker pretty easily. But we'll see what they choose.
Yeah, here we go.
Going into round 4. We see
Pretty similar comp out from Glooga.
Okay, they switch to Splashdown.
But we do get the Booyah Bomb on the side of oh wait, the names are wrong. Glooga isn't yellow, they're blue. Okay, we see the Booyah Bomb on the side of Nebula come out, like you said. I like that pick here.
That's a good pop from Nebula right there. They get more special charge because of that.
Yes, they do. I think they need to get their specials here and just kind of throw them all at that choke point. That choke point can be very difficult to break, but once you get past it, you're basically home free.
Exactly. You know, we see Youth here kind of just making sure no one else touches the Rainmaker, kind of stopping any push that happens on this grate, especially from that brush. It is dangerous. We see that Booyah Bomb go off.
Four specials on the side of Gouga. Nice trade here from Youth.
He does throw out the cooler, so it's really good. We see...
Yes. Oh, that critic is a nice pick on the Rainmaker. It looked like they were just kind of stalling out there. They could have probably got that there, but unfortunately they go down.
No, I think
the Rainmaker again.
Oh,
they're going to cut greats. He's crazy.
They're going for great checkpoint. That is interesting. I do see the idea. It is the harder checkpoint to go for initially, but after that, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, Goobers. Why do I keep calling them Goobers? Gouga. Trying to push in here, and they sneak right past him, past that Booyah Bomb. They're going to get this checkpoint essentially for free.
This is the snowballing we were talking about, you know? It's very easy.
We see this ramp here I was talking about. Oh, and here come these strikes too. I think they're just going to try and push for points here. Yeah, here comes that crab
coming out. Oh, Ian tries to push. Yeah. Unfortunately, they go down. They do take Rainmaker before it resets.
Yeah, PSU just desperately trying to hold this choke point here. Oh, that's going to be a lot of points. Oh, someone has to stop.
Oh, that's a lot of points. Good stop by Jolt.
Yeah, good stop by Jolt, but that's going to be a lot to come back from, especially on this map.
Good catch.
Ooh, good picks coming out here, though.
Who knows? This might be their opportunity to start pushing in a little bit. This brush trying to stop, but kind of being bullied a little bit by this Forge.
Yeah, my question is, has the Rainmaker been popped? Okay, it's been reset. Okay, nice.
That does make sense.
We see more picks coming out from the side of Gouga here. Two down on the side of Glooga. I keep getting the colors mixed up. No, but fix your damn midderface.
Don't talk about my goat like that. Oh, good pick
Gets a
under
nice
great.
pick. They're still going for the grades. He's a madman. He's gonna get it.
That's really good. Oh my gosh, good wipeout. If they can get this pop, they can really start piling on the
You
points.
gotta go here, and they have specials too. Oh my god! Oh, they just barely don't get the lead, but they still have momentum.
That is a double.
Huge picks here. They just gotta grab this Rainmaker and go. Go, go, go.
They almost have lead. That's another wipeout.
But
Gouga is panicking right now. Oh no. Ian trying to hold him off.
It's just Ian. Ian, get the 4v1. You got this. Ian just has to hold the line to get his team in.
Defending their jumps. Defending their jumps. Trying to stop. That was a really good push we saw from PSU Nebula. They got a lot of momentum off of that.
That's what they needed. They're just a pubic hair away from victory.
You're memory.
And now Gouga's just kind of be a scumbag and hold this Rainmaker in their base. They're just gonna.
They can't hold it for a full minute. They're gonna have to try to push off eventually, or at least reset the Rainmaker.
Yeah, this game is in Glooga's hands here. They have the lead, even though it's only by 1 point. Nebula has to get all that momentum back. Yeah,
they're pushing in.
Ooh,
great,
this is what they need.
amazing. That's 3 down.
If they
can get this pop, they can push up. Good push.
Strikes. This could be it. But that
this rush sharking. Oh, taking him out.
Quad! Oh my lordy lord.
Oh no.
What just happened?
That's heartbreaking.
That was devastating. Nebula had the perfect push going there, but that pesky brush just sneaking around like a sneaky sneakster brought it all to ruin. They would have got a wish the two of them were for that middling push.
Oh
the brush
no.
Still going off. A constant.
Still has aura. You know,
yeah, and now again they're just holding this Rainmaker.
They still have 40 seconds, though. They could do something with this. They have time.
Yeah, we see picks coming out. Unfortunately, Hex goes down there. This is going to be crunch time for PSU. They got to pick off this Rainmaker, but they're in a very good spot right now.
Yep, they don't really necessarily want to move. Good strikes coming out. Splashdown. Panic.
Yeah, forcing out the splashdown. Not good. 20 seconds here.
Oh, going down to a bomb.
It ain't looking good, brother.
I have faith in Nebula. Oh, I had faith in Nebula.
And it looks like the Rainmaker is just going to sit here, and that's probably going to be it for Nebula, unfortunately. Or unless the Rainmaker explodes,
oh my God.
There's still hope.
There's hope.
Let's reset in a mid, too. They could get this here. They get the pop, but they need to grab now. But here comes the strikes.
No.
Oh, and Youth gets strikes by
Youth. Oh. Hero move right there. I understand the idea. He tried to roll out of it.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate there. Gouga's going to go up 3-1 on PSU now. They have their ass against the wall. What a terrible way to lose.
Extraordinarily close. That rush, really saved their ass right there on the side of Glooga. I think, though, if the brush hadn't been able to sneak around like that, Nebula had a really good chance of winning.
Yeah, like I said, they were a pubic hair away from victory. That brush is... I gotta say, Glooga better worship the ground they walk on after that, because they just saved their asses. PSU probably would have got the knockout there if it weren't for that brush.
You can say that again, brother. It's really unfortunate.
But yeah, what does Nebula have to do going forward? I mean, they had the makings of a great push there, like twice, but they just couldn't get it.
I think they just need to watch out for this brush. He's a really sneaky guy. He's running the Ninja Squid. He's really good at being stealthy. I think just a little bit more awareness of where that brush could be and where it could be sharking. We're seeing splat zones again, which PSU Nebula almost took the first time. So if they can do it again and they can reverse, they still have a chance, to reverse these next 3 games.
Yeah, like I said, they had their ass against the wall, but a cornered animal is the most dangerous. And that zones map was incredibly close here. Additionally, I think this map specifically will kind of taper the effectiveness of that brush, because this map is essentially just one big choke point. I don't think that brush is going to be able to do much here, to be honest with you.
That is true. If they have the correct kind of idea of just watching out for their flanks, make sure the brush doesn't run across their grates, PSU Nebula has a really good chance of winning.
Yeah, essentially they just have to watch that middle part and the bridge. And grates is pretty open, so as long as they keep their eyes open, I think they can murder this brush and get the win here.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see them return both these teams to those paint-heavy comps we saw earlier too, because they
I
just
wouldn't
need
be
to paint the
surprised.
zone.
Yeah, I would say that we might see the return of double strikes.
We might, although strikes aren't as effective on this map. That top bridge kind of prevents them from getting as much paint as they'd like to. You can only really strike right down the middle, and from my experience, that usually isn't enough to cap on its own unless you have people helping you out to paint.
I have to agree. I think we might see some Reef Slider action coming out here on one of the teams. You know, might see some Dreadringer.
Yeah, I think Dreadringer is good here. The verticality of the middle section, along with Reef Slider, I think it's a perfect map for Hexatunes to bust it out here.
I agree. You know, Dreadringer is really powerful in this map. Like you said, that bridge right there can kind of Dreadringer can kind of stop anyone from trying to come over or even get on the bridge.
Yeah, it's good at playing below it, and it's good at being on the bridge. It's very good at just stopping all momentum on those bridges. But anyway, here we go.
Game 5, looking good. We do see the Dreadringer come out.
Yes, we do.
That is a Zip, a Splashdown, a Reef Slider, and Cooler on the side of Nebula. When we see Crab, Inkstorm, and Bubble, they pull out the Bubble again. It looks like Glooga is going to go for a more defensive comp again.
Yeah, PSU getting the early cap here, looking to hold space. Still everybody up on both sides. And they're just ticking away.
You know, despite what we said, we don't see a single bit of Ink Strike from either team.
You're right, there are no strikes here. I think they probably heard me and realized that this really is the best map for strikes.
Oh,
Unfortunately, Schultz gets slimed there by the credit. Credit gets 2. PSU still holding on to the zone there, but there it's capped.
About 20 points. That is a decent enough lead. Maybe they can flip back pretty quickly.
But yeah, got to be careful here not to get staggered, though. This is a long map.
Having a Reef Slider.
Oh, this is going to be a devastating crab.
Oh!
Oh, but here comes the Zip. Didn't get the pick.
This is a hard map to zip on, I will admit.
Yes, this is not a great map for Zipcaster. No, Jolt's gets slimed again. This brush still being a constant thorn on their side. And Gouga's getting a lot of points here. They get wiped, too. This is not good for PSU. I think they have maybe 2 more opportunities to push here, and then that might be wraps.
I think they only have the one. I mean, you see how fast
I think you're right.
is ticking down.
Yeah, and
they have to be doing something now.
Oh, the Splat Bomb. Another one. It's just... Wait,
that is a good... Yeah, that is good. No! That's kind of... No! Oh, no!
Ian gets a nice pick, but it's all for naught.
Oh, that's so sad. Hexa coming in with good Reef Slides, but unfortunately, Glooga is able to cancel both of them.
Yeah, that was very good defense there from Glooga, recognizing the threat that Reef Slider posed and just punishing him. Unfortunately, after Slider has been nerfed, or fortunately if you're a Saint individual, that just doesn't cap zone anymore by itself, and Hexa just wasn't able to do anything when everybody else went down.
No, exactly. And unfortunately, I think, even though they had a paint-heavy comp, I just don't think there was enough of a push. They weren't able to break past the defenses. Once they took that bridge, Glooga kind of just sat up there and was able to hold on to everything.
Yeah, they only really had that first 20 points, and then they kind of just got in a stagger loop from there and weren't able to do anything.
Yep. I will say, I do think I've played against this Octobrush online. He's very good at what he does. Very difficult.
Yeah, even just from watching this, like I've been yapping, he's just been a constant thorn on their side, just picking the other team apart.
You could say it's been quite the bad time.
Yeah, it looks like we're not doing playoff for my inside sources. Thank you, Nova. So that'll be it. Glooga takes the 4-1 set. Oh my god. And with that, PSU Nebula's hopes of a playoff seed is probably dead. Not big surprise.
You never know. They could have some sort of miracle. Maybe a team gets disqualified, or maybe they have to drop out, and PSU Nebula gets to play for playoffs. But regardless,
you're right. I'll hold out hope for them.
Gotta stay positive. I mean, they did play really well regardless. They had really good pushes, and they almost turned. It wasn't like it was a complete shutout. Glooga had to fight for that win.
Oh, yeah. It was really only that last map that was kind of just a slaughter fest. These were all very close matches, and I think it could have gone either way on all of them. It really came down to just pubic hair.
Yep. if they had been able to push that Rainmaker just a little bit further, it would have been they could have afforded this. But it happens. You live and you learn, and you keep working in your comps, keep playing. They played really well. I can't be any prouder as I'm an outside member of the community, but I can't be any prouder of how they played.
Yeah, they played really well. This group especially, they've shown a lot of growth this season, and I don't think they should be ashamed of what they put out here tonight. They played a lot of good games. They got a nice win, and like I said before, and I'm going to keep coming back to this, they just lost by a pubic hair. So I think they should hold their heads proud.
Absolutely, and you don't see it very often in a competitive like this, but a defensive build like that from Glooga can do wonders.
Oh yeah, I think the comps we kind of see now are leaning a lot more stally, just based on the meta right now. A lot of like blasters, sloshers, stuff like that. That just kind of you don't want to push into it. It's just a nightmare. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I think going for those kind of defensive builds here is a good idea. And as we saw, it mostly worked out for them.
Absolutely. I can't say I'm a fan. I'm always a fan of Hyperdive myself personally, but a team like that, like you said, lets you hold space very effectively.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either, even though I play Blaster. Although I think the Blaster I play is one of the only ones barely affected by the patch, but that's besides the point. But anyway,
I,
yeah, I can't blame Gouga here for just kind of playing to the meta.
yeah. Well, I have to say though, PSU Nebula, from the games that they almost won and that they did win, I think they can learn that pushing, when done right with specials that are coordinated and an aggressive comp like that, it can do really well. And so I think if they just keep practicing, they'll come back next CCA with a vengeance.
Yeah, they definitely showed a lot of improvement over this season, like I said, and they should have hope going forward. They played a lot of good sets here tonight, and it was nice to watch them. So, you want to wrap it
Absolutely.
up here, Rust?
Yes, thank you for coming by, stopping by stream. Congratulations to Glooga for moving on this win. And PSU Nebula, you played very well. Hold your heads high. You did really well.
Yeah, I've been Scoob, and he's
I've
been
been
Rust.
Rust.
And yeah, thanks for tuning in. See ya.
Goodbye.